All right, guys. So my apologies, my printer's not working, so I kind of drew out the graphs by hand. Then I'm just going to go over the whole kind of review guide. All right, so the first one we have is 1/4 times 2 to the x minus 2. So you want to go ahead and make a little t-chart and pick maybe, a negative x value, 0, and a positive x value. So you could do -1, 0, and 1. So 2 to the -1 is 1/2, right? 1/2 times 1/4 is going to be 1/8. And then 1/8 minus 2, -1 7/8. So almost -2. 0. 2 to the 0 is 1. 1/4 times 1 is 1/4. 1/4 minus 2, -1.75. And then 1, you can even go a little bit higher. 2 to the first is 2. 2 times 1/4 is 0.5. 0.5 minus 2, -1.5. Then we do 2. 2 to the second is 4. 4 times 1/4 is 1. 1 minus 2 is -1. Okay. So if we start at -1, we're going to end up at -1.78. So like, let's say roughly there. At 0, we're moving up a little bit. At 1, we're at -1.5. And then at 2, we're at -1. Okay, and then if we go to, let's say, 3. So if we do 3, 2 to the third is 8. Okay, quarter of 8 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. So 3 is going to be 0. And so what it's doing essentially is just going slowly up like that. Okay. So then domain, you could have picked any x value. So a domain is going to be all reals. And your range is just going to be greater than the k value. So y is greater than -2. Okay, so that's the first one. Second one, again, make a t-chart. So we're going to pick, let's say, maybe -1 and 0 and 2. Maybe not 2. Maybe 6 would be no, not 6. I would just do 1. 1's fine. All right. So 1/2 to the -1 is actually 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. 0. 1/2 to the 0 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay. 1/2 to the first is 1/2. 1/2 times 3 is 1.5. 1.5 plus 1 is 2.5. So we start at -1. Let's just pretend that 7's over here. 0, let's say it's right here. And then 1, 2.5, let's say it's right here. So it's starting here and going down essentially. So domain, you could have picked any x value, right? So all reals. And then your range is going to be greater than your k value. So y is greater than 1. Okay. Now we're going to do this one. And so this one, we have ln, so natural log. So that means what you have to do here is rewrite it. So we can do e to the y is x, right? We kind of ignore all this other stuff. So we can make a little t-chart and we substitute y values. So when we've got this one, we could substitute -1, 0, and 1. And so when you do that, you'll have e to the -1, which is 1 over e. Remember that e is like 2.718, so essentially it's going to be 1 over e. E to the 0 is 1, and then e to the first is e, right, or 2.718. So let's just say 2.718 roughly, and this is 1 over 2.17. So like roughly 1/2. And again, these are kind of rough estimates, right, because we're just graphing it by hand. So let's say our first one. About 1/2, -1, but now we look at this. It says x minus 1 plus 5. So we're going to go to the right one, right, opposite sign, and then plus 5, so up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1, 0, 1, 0, but we go to the right one, and then up 5. And then we go 2.7, 1, and we go 1, 2, so okay, 5, right? So we're roughly here. And so the graph is going to look something like that. So your domain, you could not have picked every single x, right? Because there's a boundary here. So the boundary is it can't go past 1. So x has to be greater than 1, and the range is all reals. Okay. And then we've got this guy right here. Log base 5. So we just do 5 to the x is equal, or sorry, 5 to the y is equal to the x. Make a t-chart. Pick y values. So we could do -1, 0, and 1. So -1 gives you 1/5. 0 gives you 1, and 1 gives you 5. Okay, so then we graph it, but again, we're going to do the shifting, right? So 1/5, -1, but you want to go to the right one and up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, do that. Then the next one, 1, 0. So 1, 0 to the right one, up 4. Okay, and then the last part, 5, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, but you go to the right one and up 4. Okay, so your graph's going to look something like this. Okay, again, domain has to be greater than 1, and the range is all reals. Okay, so we're done with that part. Next, we've got this graphing one. So what we have to do is, again, the base here, it's a common log, so the base is 10. So 10 to the y is x. Okay, and so then make a t-chart. -1, 0, 1. So -1 gives you 1/10. 0 gives you 1, and 1 gives you 10. Right? So then we graph. 1/10, -1, but we're going to move it to the left 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then again, 1, 0, move it to the left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 4. And then 10, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10, 1, you're going to move it to the left 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you do that. And then after that, you're all done. So domain, range. Domain just has to be greater than x has to be greater than 4. And the range is all reals. Last one that we're doing for graphing. So 5 to the y is x, same thing. So -1, 0, 1. So 1/5, 1, and 5. So 1/5, -1, but we want to go to the left 5 and up 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Next, 1, 0. Okay, so to the left 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up 5. Okay, so right there. And last one, 5, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 to the left 5, and up 5. Okay, so we end up with something like this. So my domain is going to be, has to be greater than 5, right? So x is greater than, sorry, -5. And range is all reals. That's it for the graphing piece. Let's move on to the next problems. Got a different colored sheet for you. All right. So it says solve each equation. So we have log, let's see, we'll zoom in a little bit. So we have log m minus 4 minus m is equal to log. Base log is the same on both sides, so logs go away. So if 4 minus m is equal to m, add m to both sides, divide by 2, m is 2. Okay, that's number 7. Number 8, we've got 10 log base 5 of x plus 4 is equal to -10. Divide by -10, divide both sides by 10, you're going to have log base 5 of x plus 4 is equal to negative 1, and then you've got 5 to the negative 1 is equal to x plus 4. Remember, I did that with like a little swoosh thing that I do. Okay, so that's going to be 1/5 is equal to x plus 4. Okay, so subtract, what's it called? Subtract 4 from 1/5, and you're going to get negative 19/5. Negative 19/5 is equal to x. Okay, so that's number 8. Number 9. All right, so 9. We've got log base 7 of negative 70 plus 3k squared is equal to log base 7 of 4k squared minus 17k. So log base 7's go away right away. And so then we're left with negative 70 plus 3k is equal to 4k squared minus 17k. So let's get everything to this side. So subtract 3k and add 70. So we're going to have k squared minus 17k plus 70. Okay? And then you're going to have to factor. So after you do that, factor, so we've got k. Okay, so two numbers that multiply to positive 70 but add to negative 17 are negative 7 and negative 10. So then we actually solve it, and we'll realize that 7 and 10 are both solutions. So 7 and 10. Okay, so that's 9. Number 10, we've got log base 9 of x minus 3 plus log base 9 of 6 is equal to 2. Addition means multiplication. So log base 9 of 6x minus 18 is equal to 2. Okay. So then we do 9 to the second, which is 81, is equal to 6x minus 18. Add 18. Get 99 is equal to 6x. Divide both sides by 6 and simplify. And x will be 33 over 2. Okay, number 10. And that's it for the first part. Now let's get on to the second part. So second part, okay, number 1, we've got log base 7 of x cubed times y all to the 4th. And it says to expand. So what you need to do is first is distribute this 4 to everything. So log base 7, x12, y4. Multiplication means addition, and these numbers in front go on the outside. So we'll have 12 log base 7 of x plus 4 log base 7 of y. That's number 1 for the second part. Number 2. Got log base 6 x times z over y to the 4th, all to the 5th. So you got to multiply that out first. So log base 6 x5 z5 y20. And multiplication again means addition, division means subtraction, and the exponents go in front for expansion. So we will have 5 log base 6 of x plus 5 log base 6 of z minus 20 log base 6 of y. Okay. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3, we're going to condense. So we've got 4 log base 5 of x minus 2 log base 5 of y. Again, these are the numbers up front, so they go as exponents, and subtraction means division. So your final answer, got log base 5, x to the 4th divided by y to the 2nd. Okay, number 4, log log base 9 of x plus 4 log base 9 of y plus 6 log base 9 of z. Okay, and so addition again means multiplication. And after that, these numbers go in front. So we've got log base 9 of x times y to the 4th times z to the 6th. Okay, so that's number 4. All right, let's see number 5. Let's see number 5. All right, number 5 is negative 6 times 20 to the negative 5n is equal to negative 1. Okay, so first thing you want to do is do negative 1 divided by negative 6, which you get 1/6. Okay, so you get 1/6. Then you're trying to get this negative 5n down. So what you need to do is do log base 20 of both sides. So on your calculator, you would do log base 20 of 1/6. This 20 is going to go away to just negative 5n. So in your calculator, you're going to do log base 20 of 1/6, get some decimal, divide by negative 5, and n is going to equal to 0.1196. Okay. Number 6, we've got negative 3e to the 7x minus 4, all minus 8 equals to negative 20. First thing you want to do, add 8 to both sides. So we'll have negative 3e to the 7x minus 4. Negative 8, okay, so we add 8 to both sides. We're going to get negative 12. Divide both sides by negative 3. We're going to end up with 4. So e to the 7x minus 4 is equal to 4. To get rid of the e, you have to take the natural log of both sides. So in your calculator, you're going to do natural log of 4 is equal to 7x minus 4. Then you're going to add 4 to both sides, right? So ln of 4, then plus 4, and then all of that divided by 7 is going to give you your x, which means your x is going to be 0.7695. Okay, so that's number 6. All right, number 7, write an exponential function y is equal to a to b whose graph passes through those 2 points. So you have to write an equation out. So 48 is equal to ab to the negative 1, and 6 is equal to ab squared. So what we want to do is get a by itself here. So this becomes a over b because there's a negative 1 here, right? So you multiply both sides by b. So you'll have 48b is equal to a. Then you take this and substitute it into the second equation. So if 6 is equal to 48b squared, okay? From there, what you're going to do is do 6 divided by 48, I'm sorry, b cubed, right? Because it's b times b squared, so you get b cubed. Okay, and so once you do that, you do 6 divided by 48, you get 1/8, you get b cubed, okay? And then you take the cube root of that, which you get 1/2. When you're trying to find a, you just substitute 1/2 into b. So I'm just going to substitute it into this one. So it means a is going to be 24. So a is 24. And so my final answer is going to be y is equal to 24 times b, which is 1/2, to the x. Okay, so that's the first one, or number 7. Number 8. All right, so number 8. The 2 points that we have. This time this is going to be a power function. So the format for a power function is y is equal to a x to the b. It makes things a little bit more trickier. So the first equation, 15, is equal to a 6 to the b. And the other one is going to be 8a 3 to the b. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3 to the b here to get a by itself. And so when you do that, you will have 8 over 3 to the b is equal to a. Substitute this back into the other equation. So we will have 15 is equal to 8 over 3 to the b times 6 to the b. These will simplify to 2 to the b. So you'll have 15 is equal to 8 times 2 to the b. Okay. And then you divide both sides. So 15 divided by 8. All right, 1 second. All right, so 15 divided by 8. You get 1.875. And then in order to get the b by itself, you do log base 2 of both sides. So you're going to do, oops, sorry. You're going to do log base 2. So log base 2 of 1.875. Log base 2 of 1.875 is equal to b. So b is going to be equal to 0.90, let's just call it 7, 0.907. So then you take this 0.907 and substitute it back into here. So you'll have a is equal to 8 divided by 3 to the 0.907. And so you do that in your calculator. So 8 divided by 3 to the 0.907. You get 2.954. So your final answer is going to be y is equal to 2.954 times x to the 0.907. So that's number 8. Okay, so these are a lot more trickier than the other ones. Okay. Next problem. We have, you deposit $3,500 in an account that pays 3.1 annual interest compounded continuously. When it's compounded continuously, that means PERT. So number 9, P-E-R-T. So A is equal to, the initial amount that you deposit is $3,500. And compounded continuously, so it's E. The rate is 3.1%, so 0.031 for 2 years. Okay, so then you type that in your calculator. So 3,500 e to the 0.031 times 2. And you get $3,723. $3,723.87. That's number 9. Number 10. Second. Sorry, I'm trying to have some background music for enjoying excitement. And there's commercials all the time. All right, number 10. Let's see. You deposit 30, same thing, kind of problem, but it says compounded monthly. So A is equal to, let's see, 1 plus, what's the formula? 1 plus R over N to the NT. Okay, something like that. Let's see. Sorry, my mind is blanking. Interest formula. Yeah, 1 times. That's what it is. 1 times 1 plus R over N to the NT. Okay. So what we do from here, we've got $3,500, and we put that as in for our P. So 3,500. 1 plus the rate as a decimal, so again, 0.031. N stands for the number of times compounded. It's compounded monthly, so that means 12. Okay, so 12. And then 12 times the number of times, so 2. So then you type all that in your calculator. So 3,500 times 1 plus 0.031 divided by 12 close parentheses, all to the 24. You get $3,723.57. Okay. All right, and that's the whole review guide.